This is Amud Yomi Gemara and Shabbos Daf. Nun Beis Amud Aleph. We're holding on the top of Nun Beis Amud Aleph after passing like Hananya that in Tirusa Yiserta that you're allowed to put an extra collar, an extra guarding in your animal on Shabbos. The Gemara continues. Tana Dvei Menashia. 4 lines down in Beis Amud Aleph is a goat. Shechakik la bein karneho, who you carved out a hole between its horns. Yatzav be'afser b'Shabbos, let it go out with the halter on Shabbos. You're allowed to cut holes through the horns of the goat, insert the halter through the holes, and then you're allowed to walk with this animal on Shabbos. And again, we remind ourselves that we're in the middle of discussing lachas of an animal, that you're mitzvah on the shvisa, on the resting of your animal. Says the Gemara, Bayi Rav Yosef asks Rav Yosef, Tachav la b'zkenai mahu. What about if you tachav la, you put this halter through the zkena, through the animal's beard on Shabbos? Do we say that if the goat would cut itself loose, the beard's going to hurt her? Lo asilanatusa. She's not going to do it, and therefore you're allowed to do it on Shabbos. There's a little bit of a risk, but it's okay. It's still be mutter. Sometimes it gets loose and it's going to fall off. And then we're afraid that the owner is going to come to pick up the halter and carry it. Of course, our whole discussion over here is the animal walking in Rosh Hashanah on Shabbos, the Isser to carry items in Rosh Hashanah. So the fear is that if this item falls off, the owner is going to come to pick it up. Says the Gemara, Teiku. Tanan Hasam, 10 lines down, the first one line is Teiku, continues the Gemara, a cow cannot go out with the strap between its horns. Says the Gemara, whether it's for Noi, Bein Lenoi, Bein Lishamar, whether the strap is for Noi, whether the strap is to control the cow, it is Aser, V'chanamar Lenoi Aser, Bal Lishamar Moter. Amar Rav Yosef, this time the Shmuel Damar, so we don't know who holds what. So Gemara wants to bring a raya that Shmuel's one that says Lenoi Aser, Lishamar Moter. Why? Dam Ravuna Barachi Amar Shmuel, Lachi Chananya. What does Chananya hold? Excessive Shemira is Moter. So seemingly putting the strap in the cow, Lishamar, would be Moter as well. Amalei Abaye, Rabbo, I'll bring you a raya Mamish Fakert. This time the Shmuel Damar Bein Lenoi Bein Lishamar Aser. Why? Dam Ravuna Shmuel Machlifim Lefnei Rabbi Shalzu Bezu Mau. We learned yesterday that they switched the cases. What's the halacha of carrying different types of items of other animals? So Shmuel himself seemingly was one that held that no, excessive watching is going to be Aser. So we have a stira in Shmuel. Sameha makmeha, says the Gemara, get rid of that one in front of this one. And therefore, we have to conclude that Rav Huna Bar Chia's way that he learned Shmuel is a mistake, and rather we have to go with Rav Yehuda. And therefore, the Gemara is explaining that according to Shmuel, it's going to be Aser to go out, and Shmuel is going to be the opinion that holds that the Shmira Yisira is Aser. Asks the Gemara the classic kasha. You're erasing one for the other. How do you know which is more right? We find Shmuel that says L'shamer Moter Ditmar Rav Chia bar Rashi Amar Rav Bein L'noi Bein L'shamer also Rav Chia bar Rav Amar Shmuel L'noi L'shamer Moter. So l'chayra says the Gemara we should say fakert because we have explicit brayso that Shmuel says L'shamer is Moter. Continues the Gemara. So if Shmuel holds L'shamer is Moter, then Rav holds it is Aser. Meisvei asked the Gemara, if the owner of a paraduma tied a leash to it, it's kosher. But according to Rav, if extra shmira is aser, why? It's a masai, it's a burden. So what should it do if you put that same thing on a paraduma? It should make it possible. But melicha meir leir, it's not excessive because you're leading it from city to city. Teretz number one, Rava Amar Sheni Paraduma Yikarim. It's expensive, so you never put such an item on it. And Ravina Amar B'Mayredes, with the rebellious animal, but it's not a kasha on Rav. So Shmuel's the one that old Shmir Yisir is mutter, and Rav holds it is aser. We continue with the 2 dots, about 20 lines from the long lines. Hasus Bashir. The sus allowed to go out with the collar, said the Mishnah. And any animal that's normal to wear a collar can wear it on Shabbos. My yoitzin, my nimshachen. The Mishnah said yoitzim and nimshachen. What's the difference? Amar Ravuna, It means they can either go out with the leash wrapped around their necks, or you could pull the leash. Shmuel Amar, Yoitzin Nimshach means they could go out pulled by the leash, but you're not allowed to wrap it around their neck. Put it all together. Omer Rav Yosef, what's lamaisa? Chazina leila iglo devei Ravuna yotzib afserin krucham b'Shabbos. I saw the calves of Ravuna that the halters, these collars, were wrapped around their necks on Shabbos. Kios Rav Dimi Amar Chanina, Molio shal beis Rebbe. The mules of Rebbe's house yotzib afserin b'Shabbos as well will go out with these halters on Shabbos. So says the Gemara, Keshkayach, they went out, but how? Ibayilu kruchan anim shachin. Were they wrapped around the necks or were they pulled? Explicit. Amru Rabbanan Kamid Rav Asi, Had Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda Loit Tzricha, Mid Rav Dimi Nafka. These are the Rav Dinim Shachin, because if you would have thought it meant Nim Shachin pulling it, Mid Yehuda Amar Shmuel Nafka. Why? Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel, Chlif and Ayel Lefnei Rabbi. This is the third time we're quoting this brayso. Shal Zu Bezu Ma'or Levan Rishon Rav Yisgach Amar Rabba Aim B'Titzim B'Afser. Says Rabbi Rav Amar V'Chamor. Since it didn't say the Rebbe held fakert, he clearly accepted what was said over him b'shem Shmuel. So what do we see? We see that Rebbe would allow to go out with this item around the animal's neck if it could be pulled. So Rav Dimi would therefore not have to say the same exact din. Says the Gemara, Amar Lahu Rav Asi Itzrich Lahu. No, we have to say both dinim, both that which Rav Dimi said and that which Shmuel Bar Yehuda said, name of Rebbe. Dim the Rav Yehuda Nafka. I would have thought Havamina Amar Lefanav Lo Kibbulumine, meaning that the whole thing was predicated that he said in front of Rebbe and Rebbe was masking. Maybe he wasn't. Kamashlan the Rav Dimi. Vid Rav Dimi Havamina Ani Milim Shachan Av Kuchan Loi. Kamashlan the Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda, that it's even Kruchen, not only Nimshachan, not only pulled by it, but even if it's wrapped around. We'll pick it up from the end of the Beis Amud Aleph B'siyata Dishmaya.